mic is off! There I am. Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL CSGO Pro League, where we are seeing LDLC face off against Mouse. Joined on the desk by Jackie Peters, of course. We're just about ready to get into Nuke as map number 2. Quick predictions from you, my friend.
Obviously, you've got to give it to Mousesports once again. Everyone looked so on point, right? Round after round of absolute domination coming out, especially that damage to the Deagle from Oscar. Oh, there he is. Just
get it off!
Sorry,
it's
mate.
Ruining my show every single time, Jackie. I try and do things properly, and you ruin it. But it's all right.
You can beat me again.
That's yes, I am. Okay, so just looking back at statistics then from LDLC, they beat Hellraisers week 1, 16-7 on Nuke, but they did lose to Spirit recently, 16-6. So a little bit of a consistency issue for them. On the other hand, Mouse, 16-5, they won in week 2 against Kinguin. Obviously, that's with Nico though. But they lost to Australia 16-11 in week 1. So only so much we can take from statistics, really, especially with Mouse changing things up. But it does look like we're just about ready to jump in this one with water bottles, a fray. We're going to be starting things off on Nuke, LDLC on the T side, and it is going to be Mouse on the CT side. So if Mouse can continue the form that we just witnessed in Cobblestone, then perhaps this could be a little bit of a one-sided match, Jeff.
Definitely possible, but let's see if it is going to go that way. The opener comes out. Maniac will actually kick things off, though, proving that he also has prowess when it comes to pistols. Drops his way through vents now as well as they slip on towards that bottom bomb site, and they can try and lock things down. 1 minute and 25 left on the clock down as the bomb gets planted. The CT's potential to retake this, but can they actually find anything here as Existence is doing damage? Dennis will trade it back, and they leave them in a 4 versus 3. Yeah,
Lau's still alive, though, so that is my worry. Alex, actually, at the moment, is just letting people saying, yeah, sure, come on down to Vens, let's have a party. Let's not just tap away and finish everyone off. It's just Spiddy left for Mouse now. Bomb is down. He's got to do everything here, but he can't do anything as LDLC do go 1-0 up. It's exactly the start that they needed. Can they press on now and find a couple of rounds on a really, well, tough T side on Nuke? But LDLC starting things off how maybe we should have expected to see early on in Cobblestone. Really struggled in the end. They really struggled as, when it got to those later rounds, so perhaps we need to see a little bit of momentum built from them, and they might be able to make a game of this.
Yeah, true, right? There's always that potential they can actually try and get some more on the on the board. Especially, it's good to see them getting that opening pistol on their T half. You want to try and rack up as many rounds as possible, starting off over on your T half here. Meanwhile, for Mousesports, they're trying to take this back now. They want to bring this back into an equal situation, possibly try and flip things over, reset them, and get into a good spot. But obviously, with the buy they have to work with, you don't imagine they're going to be able to achieve too much out of this as well. LDLC get that bomb planted into this round as well, and they're finding frags with the SMG. So this is quite possibly the worst case scenario for Mousesports, as not only are LDLC going to get that second round for free, as you would expect, but they're also going to get the cash bonus that comes along with getting the bomb plant and utilizing those SMGs.
Yeah, now Mouse is just going to back off and try and save what they can. Oscar does have the scout. Lau gets caught out by Maniac, and Spiddy's just going to try and save that CZ. So it's going to be 2-0 in favor of LDLC. And it's just going to be a case of when Mouse can actually buy up. How strong is their CT half going to be when they actually get those weapons in place, start holding those angles. If Oscar can get an AWP, or when Oscar gets an AWP, how detrimental that is going to be to LDLC. Now LDLC can still use those UMPs moving on to this round, and this should be an even easier round than the last, because obviously players on Mouse don't have that armor, only Spiddy and Oscar saving it from the previous. And how do you approach these rounds when you know it's going to be a weak buy, Jackie?
It's true, right? Like, what do we actually do here? Because you know you can't play it like a standardized round. You have to try and do something different. With the weapons they have to play with, it's not too bad, because obviously Oscar, a very effective player when it comes down to either the Scout or the AWP. He's great with both of the scoped weapons in terms of them being usable for quite a dynamic style of play. He'll be going for a lot of aggressive peaks. If he can get the tag off with those weapons, it makes it so much easier, removes a lot of sustain from the lives of LDLC players, and allows Mousesports to finish them off with the pistols into the late round. Just do damage to the economy. See, like that, Twanu right now, 32 HP. If he gets tagged from either of these pistols or the scout of Oscar, he's instantly killed at that point.
Can Oscar do any damage with the scout here? Find any heads at the moment? The answer is no. He's going to try and get down ramp, but Alex was so quick up his backside. He was able to find the kill, and now it's just the pistol players remaining. Alex actually seeing the door open, turned away a little bit, just going to try and spray down through the smoke. This should be relatively easy pickings for LDLC, but suddenly Mouse are picking off some players. They've turned it into a 3 versus 3. These pistols are actually doing a little bit of damage. No bomb down as of yet, and Lau is continuing his form from earlier on with the pistol and now gets a UMP, and suddenly this is doable from Mouse. It's 2 versus 2, and just as I get excited, Alex shuts down Lau. It's 1 versus 2. Can Chris J do the unthinkable here? Get the one tap? No, he can't. Existence takes him off the server. It's 3-0, and now Mouse can buy up.
Yep, Mousesports can get the buys out where they can get those weapons on the board. But look, Cash isn't actually all that optimum. The AWP cannot be brought out over on Oscar to play to outside, so that's not going to help them too much. As well, Oscar, all the weapons he can afford, has to go for the UMP.
Your AWP on a UMP. Never a good situation. This game could be so different. It could have gone so different if Mouse had started to build up a bank balance, because I think Oscar would be a scary feat here, as Dennis actually going to get really aggressive onto T-Red here. Has anyone spotted him? No, that's just spray coming through the smoke, so he hasn't been spotted. The flash comes through, so now he can push through and find 2. Ooh. If he looks up to Silo, he might find a 3rd. You can see a player has just dropped onto Catwalk. It's going to be Alex. He is looking for out for him. It does eventually take Dennis down, but perhaps the damage has already been done. Great aggressive play. Great to take the initiative there from Dennis.
Man, that's horrific, right? Dennis with a 2K opener like that. You can see they get the opening frag. He then has all the time in the world to adjust and find the follow-up as well, because it was just so awkward. Played around the smoke perfectly. And that is really cool to see from Dennis. Initiative coming out. Really smart play. A lot better than what we've seen from him in the past. Dennis and Spiddy, they've been stepping up quite massively throughout this series. If they can keep this up and play to this level constantly, this Mouse lineup is going to be damaging. Thing is, the trades start to come back in. Mistal going to claim 1 there. Alex, of course, got the trade back as well on towards Dennis after he found those opening 2 kills. Alex trying to utilize that AWP, but peeking to Spiddy, the man that seems so on point right now. You are going to have a hard day. He comes in, connects the headshot, takes him down. Now they outnumber the opposition. They're in a good form to try and close this one out.
Can LDLC make something of this? A little bit of utility from Maniac. He's got flashes, got a smoke as well to work with. Lowell does find Mistal trying to sneak his way onto site, but Maniac will find 2. He finds Lowell and Oscar. He's got 15 seconds left, needs to get this bomb down, but actually, Spiddy needs to try and come from behind here. As you can see, he's just behind that smoke over by Squeaky Door. Maniac could get the jump on him. I love this play from Maniac as well. Just trying to be in a different position, try and surprise Spiddy. Spiddy's going to be pushing onto that site, and he's going to be absolutely clueless as to the positioning. And he's literally just going to wait for that bomb to be tapped. As soon as the bomb is tapped, if it's tapped, then he'll burst out. But Spiddy now might have caught wind. Just as he was getting close enough, he's going to have to back off. He's not going to hold. You'd like to think, or is he going to hold? He shouldn't have time. Maniac will finish him off. And Maniac pulling off, well, a crazy Maniac play, to be honest. There, he had no right of winning that round. 1 versus 3, and he does pull it out.
Look at this, though. The opener that was so big. Dennis there as he walked his way through. That was nice. Unfortunately, it was a flash in the pan. It was short-lived. They weren't able to close it out as their numbers just dropped far too quickly. They came in with a nice opener. They get reset, but they still had a 1-man advantage. Then the peaks they went for, everything started to fall apart. You get into the late round. LDLC close it out. This is a nicely rounded T-half so far. 4 rounds on the board at this point. Looking like they should be picking up their 5th here. This is not too bad for them. This is pretty good to see. If they keep this up, they could be in with a fairly close matchup here on Nuke. Aggression coming out, though, from Tuanu this time around. Taking the fight towards outside, where he knows that AWP is going to be so powerful. Chris J is there, but even if Chris J finds a frag with the backup of Dennis, he has existence in that elevated angle, so they should be able to trade stuff out, even if it goes wrong.
This is the thing, Mouse's economy in absolutely tatters at the moment. Can we see a crazy display from Oscar with the Deagle once again to try and bring Mouse back into this map, or are they going to be falling 5-0? Maniac will get the opening onto Oscar, so that's not going to happen. Dreams shattered instantly. As you said, it should be 5-0, and then Mouse, even if they buy up, it's going to be a relatively weak buy. They shouldn't be able to get an AWP. I'm not exactly sure. If they can, then perhaps that's the chance for Mouse to get back into this, but at the moment, that round from Maniac was absolutely huge. Really shouldn't have been able to get away to push onto that site so easily, especially with them holding those angles. But now with 35 seconds left, we'll see LDLC push onto this site. Can Lau do anything with the pistol? No, he can't. Maniac gets his 2nd of the round, and now here comes the cavalry just to finish things off. Spiddy gets a nice little one-tap with the CZ, but I think that is just going to be in vain, as it's 5-0. Good stuff from LDLC, just been able to close that one out. No mistakes made from them. And we're going to get a pause coming out from Mouse, and probably a good time as well to pause, just to think about it. It's going to be actually a technical pause coming out from them, but either way, time to think about it. There is going to be money for them to buy up that AWP, so perhaps this is where they can turn this game around.
Yeah, true. This is where things could be switched around their heads a little bit. They actually have an effective buy coming out into the following round. But what are they going to change up here? As LDLC have actually been playing it very smart. They've been getting those opening frags. Even when they've actually at a disadvantage, they've still been able to work their way through and pick up those openers and claw it back to close out the rounds, which is pretty cool because LDLC, you don't expect them to come in from what was a very effective defeat over on Cobblestone to be reinvigorated instantly on their T half, the lesser strength half on Nuke, to be able to dominate like this.
That's the thing. Dennis, he pushed up, he got aggressive on T-Red, found 2 frags. Unfortunately, he got caught out by Alex. Perhaps if he pushed round T side, maybe tried to go for the backstab, it could have been very different. But that was a 5 versus 3 advantage.
Yeah.
And somehow, Miles have thrown that one away. LDLC had no right to claw back in it. And then suddenly it was 1 versus 3. It's all on Maniac. How on earth did he just walk onto the side and do that? Was that just pure individual aim that he was able to do it?
It's kind of, it's awkward to say at that point, because even though you could be the best player in the world, but usually trades will come out purely because it's easier. If 2 players are watching an angle, one of them dies, you can trade that back, right? Because you don't have any travel time on your crosshair, you were just focusing on them, you get that easy kill. Or at least you're close enough to try and take the fight and get the trade back, whereas Alex was just uncontested. Not only was he on point, he was able to find those kills, but no one was there to try and get the trades. They weren't in fantastic positions. It looked like communication was slightly off for them. And Mouse, they need to try and snot that out of them right now. They need to come back in, reset, come into this round hard and fast. With the AWP coming into play, you'd imagine on Oscar, things switching up a little bit, more aggressive control potentially towards outside.
And the thing is with Mouse, like, we only see that one buy, that one opportunity that they just threw away. Now we're going to see it in the 6th round as well. Is there anything that you kind of spotted that could have been different with the way they were holding? Because they went for the aggression, they took the initiative, it went well, then it all fell apart and went to tatters. Do they just need to be holding their angles a little bit better then? Because you said, yes, okay, the trade should come through, but they didn't.
Well, that's the thing. With that push, though, right, you couldn't really trade for Dennis because he was up close. He was already basically pushed in towards sort of T side of the map at that point. So you can't really trade for him, but it didn't matter because even when he died, you still had the man advantage. So you didn't really give the Ts any benefit. If he went 1-1, then it favours the Ts and they can push out. So getting the trade there isn't as vital. Sure, it would have been great if they could do so because then you basically leave them with 2 players left to try and win the round. You can fall back. The only thing was, Mouse, at that point, weren't really holding any crossfires. They weren't in fantastic positions. They were still spread very thin. So the map control was taken then by LDLC. They were able to push in, and it just left them in a very awkward spot.
At what point does frustration start to kick in as well? Let's say that LDLC are able to take this one. They go 6-0 up. They reset Miles again. Obviously, there will be the losing bonus, so they might be able to get something. But are Miles just going to be kicking themselves a little bit about that one round that they threw away? Or do you think these players are professional enough that they can just brush it off and be like, oh, okay, so it's not been the best CT half. Let's just make sure we finish strong and then we can have a strong T.
Well, it's true, right? Because that's the thing. They are a very emotional team. We know that sort of past results. And as well, Oscar's one of these players that I'd say is quite an emotional player. Definitely wants things to go well. If internal issues start to occur in the team, you've got to wonder, is Oscar going to feel that heat and be like, guys, why isn't this working? Get very aggressive, very vocal because of that. And it's the thing as well with that, if players get heated, the environment they're in must be kind of hard for them because it's a very sort of multilingual team in terms of where people are from. There's only 2 players from the same country. That's going to be Spiddy and Dennis, whereas everyone else is from different places. So the communication has to be in English, so it makes it kind of awkward for them, if you know what I mean. If one player's getting heated, that potential bit of aggression coming through in their voice and rushing their comms, the confusion there could definitely affect things into the late game.
Yeah, LDLC looking very confident at the moment as we are just about ready to get back in the action here after a quick technical pause, but it does look like all the players are ready. LDLC looking like they've built a little bit of momentum. If we compare that to what we've just saw on Cobblestone, where they got absolutely thrashed, let's be honest, it wasn't an easy watch. Now they've moved into Nuke, and suddenly they've revitalized themselves. They found some fine form that we didn't even think was possible, and if they win this round, they are looking at an absolutely incredible T-half. But we do see the AWP coming out. Interestingly, not going to be for Oscar, it's going to be for Chris J, Jackie.
Yep, Chris J done in the AWP. Going to be playing off spawns, I'd imagine, for that call to be made. Let's see what he'll be doing. Yeah, look at this. Aggressive play from Chris J as he glides himself around. An absolute acrobat is the man. Elevated angle. spotting people out, but Twanu, uncontested, allowed to get himself up close towards T-Red. Nice frag coming out, a frag back for Dennis, but there's the instant trade. Alex batting them down. Already a man advantage into this round. This is heroic coming out from them.
That's the thing. Chris J thought, actually, I'm so quick off spawn, I'm going to get there before anyone can even move to see T-Red. But there was Twanu, just catching him off guard. Chris J had no idea, and LDLC looking in good form to make this a possible 6th. They've got the man advantage. Now Mouse have just got to try and split themselves up, try and hold both of these sites at the same time, and LDLC can just pick and choose. They can wait. They've still got a minute to work with. They can very slowly edge in, try and find a Mouse player just caught off guard as well, and then they'll be able to get that bomb down and finish this round off effectively. Existence is going to head towards Hell, while Missed Out is actually down here towards Secret. Is Spiddy going to be in a good enough position to take any of these players down, though? It is one of the first areas that you do check, but it's always difficult pushing down those stairs in case anyone's in window. Spiddy with a big opportunity, but the jump comes through. He finds one onto Missed Out, but Maniac trades it. Meanwhile, Alex takes down Oscar, leaving it just Lowell on his own. It's a 1 versus 3. He has tagged these LDLC players down. Very weak. He is going to go for the chase here and try and take down Existence, but it's not going to happen. He's going to escape with his life, and this is going to be impossible for Lau now. He's just going to try and save this M4.
Yep, we'll just back off. No reason to throw that callously into the wind. You might as well keep it in your back pocket, save it for a rainy day. But that is still another round collected there by LDLC. That's going to be a 6-0 scoreline so far. Dominant stuff.
Yeah, when you're in Mouse's shoes now, really difficult to swallow a pill. The LDLC pill. Now just going to try and survive. I wonder whether LDLC are actually going to hunt him here. Flashes are coming out. If they can take this weapon off him, it would be huge for them. Maniac is very hungry for it. Not quite enough time, though. Lau keeps the M4 through to the round. Still, 0 kills for both Oscar and Chris J, the two players who are phenomenal with the AWP. Chris J had his first chance at AWPing that round. Unfortunately, he thought he had the quicker spawn. He thought he had beat all of the LDLC players to mid, but unfortunately for him, he was wrong. He was taken down. And now we see a very awkward buy coming out from Mouse, and this is looking like a bit of a rout in LDLC's favour, which is crazy considering what we just saw on Cobblestone.
It's true, right? You don't really expect this to come through. 6 rounds up against 0 on the side of Mouse. We did not expect this. We thought Mouse would be coming here hard and fast, starting to live up to what they showed us on Cobblestone and really just tear their way through. But this has been an abysmal affair so far for them. They haven't had really too much of a great showing. Existence, prime time position now as well as he goes in for the backstab, wants to try and cut them off guard, but they spot him out. Nice teamwork, good communication on display. Unfortunately though, Alex, with a little pixel shot as he connects through taking down Dennis, does equalize the situation, and this still favors them.
Yeah, LDLC have just been trading a lot better than Mouse. I mean, I looked at the start of the game and I was like, oh, okay, Mouse is CT. This is probably going to be a one-sided affair. This is going to be a quick game. But no, LDLC are changing all of these plans. Okay, Mouse have the man advantage now, but you can see LDLC just edging their way down ramp. Spiddy's going to be the first point of contact. Can he do any damage with the FAMAS? Yes, he can. He picks up an AK as well off the back of it, and now going to back off onto the site. Elsewhere, Twanu will get a headshot onto Oscar. 2 versus 3. Chris J pretty weak as well. Still doable from LDLC. They just need to work together. Only 30 seconds left, and they are quite spread out. They need to decide which site they're going to push here.
Missed out. Going up the ladder, trying to get himself up towards Nest, seeing if he can find anything as he goes through. Meanwhile, you have Chris J just lurking behind as well. Good play from Lau to take down Missed Out, actually, so it just falls on towards Twanu, left in a 1 versus 3. The bomb is down in such an awkward location. Chris J has the rear covered. They have to try and fight here. Can't do anything. Cannot connect the shot. Taken now in the backstab from Spiddy. First round on the board now for Mousesports, but still such an awkward one. The rebuy is coming through as well. It's going to make that economy still leave a very sour taste in their mouth as they have to spend essentially all of their money into this round. Round 8 now. Is this going to be where they link them up, actually start to get an effective lead here, or can LDLC reset them?
It needs to be the rounds that they link up, to be honest, because otherwise it's going to look ugly if LDLC put a 7th on the board here and Mouse economy will be back in tatters. Important that they won the last round, to be honest, from Mouse, because it was a very weak buy from them. Somehow they pull out the stops when needed. Missed Out very brave, just going to burst on through, but he walks into Oscar's M4. Lau's there to save the day as well. Oscar and Lau holding on to this A site, and Existence is sat here in middle saying, what on earth just happened? Where did everyone go? How did you all die? What the hell do I do now?
Yeah, trapped on his lonesome. 1 versus 5 at this point for the in-game leader of LDLC. What is he really going to be able to achieve? Does find one frag on towards Oscar though. Nicely done. You can see the pre-fire as well. Completely aware of the position of Chris J as he's just trying to thwart them, hoping to find something. Essentially needs to die before time though at this point, as he will take some damage to his economy. Trying to find anything. Can't really do too much though. Lau will punish him, executes him there. But good. This is nice for Mousesports. If they didn't link those rounds together, they would have been in tatters in terms of their economy. But they prevail. They pull through. They get that second round on the board now, so their economy is going to be pleased with them. And finally, an AWP comes out. Once again on Chris J, are we going to see these aggressive plays coming out for him, or will he try and play a little bit more laxed?
Still a little bit of money to work with for LDLC. I think Existence had about 7k, so they've gone for 3 AKs and a couple of Tech 9s. We saw a lot of aggression coming out from Mistal previous round. He's not going to do it this time, and Oscar's just going to spray through. He said, Mistal, are you going to push again? I don't care. I'm just going to spray down through this smoke. Existence gets shut down by Dennis as well. Mouse seem to have found their form, but now here come LDLC bursting onto the site. Alex is flashed off, but he's found Lowell. Here comes Oscar. This should be easy pickings for him as he finds 2, and it's just Maniac left on his own now. Dennis finished things off 6-3, and now that economy is going to be ruined for LDLC. You think they should eco here, or are they going to try and force up, do you think, Jackie?
Working with that economy, obviously, it's going to be kind of awkward for them. You're looking at sort of around the area of a 3k on the players. It's not really worth going for that. Might as well just get those Tech 9s out, get some armor to play with here as well, and just rock with that, right? You can't really invest too heavily, but they know they're going to have money to pay into the following round, so just charge in with that. Hope you can find some opening frags. Try and use that aggression to overpower your opponents. That offensive style of Counter-Strike. Slight investment into utility as well. So they are actually going to try and go for the slow, what seems to be upper burst.
Here we come. Just bursting onto the A site now. Lau's actually flashed off here, but no one's found him just yet. Dennis takes down Alex, and Lau somehow survived with his life. I don't know how they didn't catch him, just stood behind Silo there. In Existence again. The rest of his team have all died. He was just sitting, lurking, hoping someone was going to come from behind, but no one did. It's going to be 4th round from the board for Mouse. Starting to look better, starting to look like the Mouse that we saw on Cobblestone now. It really makes a difference that they've built up a bit of a bank balance and started to get those M4s and rifles and AWPs in their hands, to be honest.
Definitely so. Once they've donned these weapons, you can see the difference maker. Not only in their playstyle, but in terms of their individual confidence as well. The faces they're going for, when complemented with that range advantage and those actual rifles in their hands, they're allowed to take those fights, and they're winning them. Looking good now as well. Oscar going to get another frag into this round. Takes down Existence. 6-4. Starting to claw it back. If they go through and actually take this, you know, a 9-6 scoreline, that's still a very, very good CT half coming out from Mousesports. But LDLC, you've got to wonder, when are they going to get their second wind?
Here's their chance. They've got a full buy coming through. Twanu with the AWP. Is he going to catch Chris J off guard as we saw earlier? Or is Chris J going to have the upper hand? Dennis is actually going to get aggressive out on middle. We saw this in earlier rounds. There's no smoke for him to hide behind this time though, but he will pick up with a flash. Twanu expecting it, can't quite find the frag. That would have been huge for him, and instead he's just having to back off and still just fire pop shots into the smoke, hoping to find something. Existence well aware there could be a Dennis lurking around, and there he is. He takes down Existence. Alex has fallen as well, and LDLC falling apart here. Twanu does get Dennis, so that is a consolation. They are just a man down now. But LDLC have just seemed to have taken their foot off the pedal a little bit here, Jackie.
Yeah, LDLC, they tried to take the fight once again. You know, they've thrown some punches, but they haven't really connected. Sure, they've got one hit off, but unfortunately, the fire back from Mousesports has been too strong. You eliminate Dennis, but the instant trades coming in just are not helping you out. Twanu as well, he needs to go so huge if they want to try and work their way through this round. He is the difference maker when he has that AWP in his back pocket. Oscar as well, approaching over towards Secret, playing a little bit more of an aggressive angle, so if they do try and go through, slipping towards that bottom site, he can ward them off.
He's down now, tries to get into heaven, but Spiddy's there. Says, no sir, this is my area. LDLC now, I'd like to see something a little bit different for them in the future rounds. Maybe try and smoke off outside, push down Secret perhaps. They're allowing Mouse back into the game by just playing a little bit slow. Maniac tries to peer out, and they're just going one by one into into Mouse at the moment, LDLC. Need to be working together as a bit more of a unit. That's what they were doing earlier on. Now their money is still tight, and they're going to have to reco, and it should be 6-6. Mouse somehow have clawed back into this one. I don't know whether that's just down to just the perseverance, to be honest, of Mouse. After losing so many rounds, they just tried again, and eventually got that buy, eventually got that AWP, and they were able to shut down any sort of aggression coming out from LDLC.
Yeah, that's true. Into this one as well, though, the Deagles in play on LDLC, they can be proficient with the weapons, but surely up against that arm to the teeth buy of Mousesports, you will be shut down. Mistyle actually going to live up to that, though. The opener comes through, eliminating Oscar, giving you a little bit of revenge of what he did over on Cobblestone as they try and make their way in existence, though. Slapped down by Dennis in the end. You can see Lau as well, looking to potentially go for a bit of aggressive play early into this one. Spiddy is just defending ramp like an absolute champion right now. Headshot over on towards Mistyle. 2 members left up against Mousesports. They are kind of weak, though. Green around the gills. They're not in the most healthy situation, but they're still finding the frags, and that is the most important factor.
Yeah, Dennis, even though he's weak, he's just having easy pickings of these players in Garage. He is going to be all tied up, and I think that's going to be a pause coming out of one of these teams as well, possibly. And yeah, there we have it. Just because LDLC now, I think they're saying, all right, calm it. We went 6-0 up, we've thrown this away, but we can still make this a very positive half. If LDLC get this round, turn it into a 9-6 in their favour, still an incredible T-half for them.
Yeah, it's true. They can still actually work their way back through this and knock it down. Sure, 6-6 right now. It could be better. They can definitely show that, but they just haven't had the most favour with the economy. It's definitely left them as they just got completely obliterated round after round now from Mousesports, but they have been close rounds. This is all they need to do coming back into it, get the economy back in their favour, which they will do into the next round, get the buyout, work your way through. I want to see more coming out from Tuanu as well. I think they should have enough to squeeze the AWP out onto him, and that's when we're going to see him start to get those opening frags. He needs to be the penultimate fragger to get the openers into the round.
Yeah, this is what I was going to ask you as well. When you are on this T side and you're stuck in a little bit of a rut and you just lost 6 on the bounce.
Yeah.
Where on earth do you go from there? It feels like you've tried everything, tried and tested everything. Is there more that we could see from LDLC? Is there something a little bit different that they've got perhaps hidden up their sleeve?
It's true. I mean, maybe we see just some default takes towards that A-bomb site. We haven't actually seen them utilising skylights at this point. True. Just flash your way through, take that A-bomb site. You know, try and go for a little bit more of a standardised tactic, or at the very least, just take that fight very heavily once again towards outside control, but get the AWP out.
Get the AWP out and just do some damage. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, mate.
This pin I've got says baggage.
Your baggage pin.
What is it?
Baggage is a map, mate.
Well, yeah, but like, I ordered this and I got a Season 2 and I was hoping for something cool and I got baggage.
Baggage is an arms race map, mate. It's gun game.
I mean, I could have got something cooler, right?
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, you know, it just lives up to what you are. You're my baggage.
I'll let you carry me around any day, sunshine. We are going to be back into things here now, and Mouse continuing from their previous form as Dennis gets the opening, but Alex will trade. That's one thing LDLC have been doing very well. They've been trading effectively, but they need to do it a little bit better. Someone needs to take the reins and start to get kills of their own if LDLC are going to get an even better T-half. 6 rounds is already pretty solid. They would be happier with more, especially after going 6-0 up. Things slow down once again after those early trades. I say they're slowing down. Oscar catches a wild maniac just poking his head out. And the rest of LDLC are making their way down to the B site. Alex gets a really important kill onto Spiddy, and that should be the bomb going down. How quickly can Mouse get here to stop this?
It's true. Can they respond fast enough? They are speeding their way over there. Oscar, already 1 frag on the board. Will he be doing some damage with that orb? Can he be dealing these blows that they need to burst their way back into the site and attempt this retake? Chris J as well, the secondary AWP for the team. These 2 AWPs, utilising that close bomb site, once they get into these close tight angles, it could be kind of awkward for them, but for the massive openers, that's what they need. Oh, Tuanu, though, takes the fight. Fantastic way to kick it off, eliminating Oscar. Instantly, they get the man advantage once again, and the push has to come out now as time is beginning to tick away. Mistyle rattling through with the AK-47. The Kalashnikov reigns supreme. That's a 2K for him, shutting down Mousesports. The bounce back for LDLC. The second win has finally invigorated them, and they lock it down. Yeah,
LDLC back on the scene now. 7 rounds for them. I think they'll be more than happy with just a 7. I'm not just looking at the frags as well. Chris J, 1 and 7. You compare that to the 15 kills coming out of Dennis. He's really struggling right now. He's been the one who's been donning that AWP, but he hasn't been able to find those frags whatsoever. On the side of LDLC, pretty much even pickings. Alex, though, being one of the key members, getting 12 frags for himself. Tuanu trying to take some early aggression, does find Dennis, tags him down to just 20 HP, and Mouse just having to surrender a little bit of control at A main here.
Yeah, the tag coming through down towards Dennis very early on isn't going to be too fantastic. The push towards Lau as well, just through the smoke, they are obliterating him, forcing him to fall back and killing him very easily now, leaving them once again in a 4 versus 5. Not a great situation to be in for Mousesports, and you've got to wonder, Did they just decide to back off and just try and save this out? Is it a situation too far already and they want to just try and have a best case scenario into the following round, especially when Chris J goes to the peak and gets killed, and more frags seem to be reigning supreme? Alex is single-handedly destroying everyone. The man goes huge right now for 3K. Great play so far from Alex. Maniac for the final frag on towards Oscar, and Mousesports are going to be kicking themselves after that round. Into the final one. Actually, cash is pretty good, so it wouldn't have mattered too much if they saved, but obviously they will have to skimp on the AWP. That is the most important factor.
They've not really done anything with the AWP, so I guess it's not too much of a problem for them. But LDLC, okay, they're back, they're firing, they're feeling confident, just pushing onto these sites yet again. And they've just been walking their way onto A, and it's been great. Twanu's been showing this early aggression. Oh, almost finds the frag. Can't quite get it though. Just got stuck in the fire as Oscar will actually get the opening. And this is where LDLC have been struggling. When they do lose that first man, it's been really difficult for them to find their way onto a site when it's a 4 versus 5 situation. Now it's 3 versus 5 as Chris J does find his second frag of the game, finally doing some damage, and a really important time to do so.
Yeah, nicely done. Obviously now left in a good scenario. Speedy here. He has been defending ramp fairly effectively throughout this matchup so far. Forced to reposition. Just going to drop in towards Dark right now and then hold towards lower ramp as the push starts to come in. Chris J going to reposition. Nicely done as he drops just at the right time. The aerial assault on towards Existence as he takes him down. Speedy wards them off as well. There's Lau sitting on top of Hut. As he chants away, finding that frag off on towards Mistdown, just leaving Maniac left with 3 HP, and he will not be standing for long. That is going to be an 8-7 scoreline. Fantastic round coming out towards the end there, and they lock it down. But we're going to be going for a short break throughout halftime. Join us after this.
LDLC looking a lot better on Nuke rather than Cobblestone, and you've just said to me, oh, I've just remembered Existence actually likes Nuke, and I think that's that's starting to show, because LDLC, they made a good half there. They made a good half. They baked it, they put it in a tin, and it's come out of the oven and looks great.
Well, here's one I prepared earlier for LDLC, but that's the thing, right? That's what I was talking about. I was just like, yep. There he is, back in his home turf, right? I kind of forgot about how much he had in his playbook. It's always been a map, even back in Source, it was the Existence map. Home territory for him, absolutely adored it. And we've seen that in the past, and they've had close results on this, but I kind of forgot how good they can be at it. And that T-side was flawless. Only a couple of rounds where they kind of got shut down. Mousesports had no answer to it. And you got to say as well, it wasn't really LDLC playing that crazy. It was also Mousesports having some internal issues on being able to defend those rounds. They bring it through with a 7-8 half. That's still very good, though, on your T half. If they come in early, get the pistol and lock down that CT half, which we know they can do, especially with how effective Twanu's been on the T side. He is very good at those CT side defensive angles as well. That's where they're going to be a real monster.
Yeah, it's really hard to call because it does come down to that pistol, as it always does. It's going to change everything. If LDLC start to run away with it a little bit, start to build up a bank balance, something that Mouse didn't really get to do in those early rounds. That's why they went 6-0 down. But even when they did get that AWP, I mean, Chris J was really struggling. He wasn't getting those shots. For some reason, Oscar wasn't taking the AWP. Okay, they managed to claw it back to 6-6. Eventually, Chris J got a few kills on the board in that last round, and that's why it's 8-7 rather than a 9-6. What can Mouse do now, though, on their T side? We've seen disgusting stuff from Lowell on the pistol. Can he do more of the same here on Nuke?
That is going to be the question. In the past, the pistol rounds have been so deadly. From all of these players, 9 times out of 10, you have to kind of give it to them. Just off respect alone, the opener comes in, though. This is looking good right now for LDLC, actually, as they try to ward off the sites, but Chris J does one better. Fantastic frags on the ball for him. Already a double kill. Speedy goes down. It is just Oscar and Chris J left to try and ward off the CTs that are coming in. Chris J, the 3rd kill of the round, but he's left on 1 HP. Oscar has the vents covered as well, so it's going to be so hard if they want to burst their way out. Twanu trapped towards main, gets executed by Oscar. The bomb will surely go down as Maniac bides his time, waiting for the right moment to strike. They're going to get that planted. A simple tag will be enough to kill Chris J. Maniac, can he do it? As he makes his approach towards the site, down struggling a little bit. You can see him second-guessing himself, not sure. Doesn't want to make the mistake and possibly throw this round away. It is so important for LDLC. Trapped in an awkward scenario now as the push actually comes towards him, and he connects the headshot. Takes down Oscar. It takes one bullet to kill Chris J here, but he doesn't find him. Running around like a headless chicken. He's struggling to connect the shots. Time is ticking away. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to get this.
10 seconds. It's going to actually be a really tight one. I think he's all right here, but yeah, that's going to be very close. I think he does just about get this, so that's huge from Maniac. Absolute milliseconds, and almost perfect play from Chris J. Just dancing around, trying to stay alive with his life, but he had to just show himself enough to try and lure him back in and say, you've got to take this fight if you want to win this round. It was, of course, very difficult on 1 HP. But what a start from LDLC. Now they can start to run away with things. If Mouse can't answer with this force buy, we could be looking at perhaps a strong hand from LDLC and maybe them taking a map.
That is so lucky as well, because they needed that. That's the thing, that is a disgusting pistol round if they pick this up. Going through that like that, they can try and get these next few rounds on the board. They actually have a good lifeline to play with now, and this is what they need. Working their way through, fantastic opening nade as well, transferring an absolute abundance of splash damage across the T-half. Dennis will fire back though. He doesn't give a damn how low he is as he finds that kill off on towards Missed Out. Alex lurking around in the vents, trying to do his Bruce Willis impression, getting ready to burst out. He knows what a TV dinner feels like down.
Look at all these players, so weak. Maniac does find the first. It's a headshot he finds onto Lowell as well. All he needs to do is hit the chest. Spitty responds onto Maniac. It's 3 versus 3. Bomb's still not down though, as Oscar's going to come round onto ramp, but he's tagged down to just 2 HP. He's going to try and escape with his life, but Existence says no. Meanwhile, Alex has killed off Chris J, and he'll also finish things by taking down Spitty. 10th round now for LDLC, and Mao's going to have to eco once again. We're looking at an 11-7, and Mouse... It's so, these rounds are just so difficult. I mean, I know I always say it, but when you are already behind and you know how important that pistol round was and how close you came to winning it as well, trying to get some sort of momentum behind you in rounds that you know are pretty much unwinnable, it's so tough.
It's true, and it's always awkward as well when you get into those scenarios. Up against a team like this, at this point now, LDLC, they've been damaging in rounds where they only had a slight advantage. Now the AWP comes out on Twanu. We want to see him swatting them down as an exterminator over towards outside. That's where he has to ward them back. He has the range advantage, but it doesn't really matter at this point. He's starting to get overwhelmed. Luckily, he's still alive at this point. His teammates lose full. They should actually kill him here, though. Taking him down. This is good so far for Mousesports. Left in a 3 versus 3. Potential in this one for them to actually pick it up. Existence hammering away. Has to try and back off and reload his FAMAS, but he gets caught off guard there by Oscar. They've overpowered now. They can grab these weapons. They can scavenge a little bit and grab guns that are going to aid them. Lau doesn't even give a damn. He'll just use this pistol. Fantastic frag on towards Mistau, and Mousesports have done the unthinkable now. Alex left with an MP9. He has no room in hell to try and stay alive into this one. Will be taken down by Chris J. Headshot comes through, and that is so bad for LDLC. Reset coming into effect there as well. The big investment was obviously the AWP on Twanu. That's now in the back pocket of Oscar.
Literally every time I count Mouse out, Oscar just goes, actually, I'm just going to get a kill that's going to change the round. He pushed ramp. He got an early pick. He was then able to come and backstab through hell as well. And LDLC, they'll be wondering what on earth went wrong there. They have still got 1 M4 in the hands of Alex, UMP, FAMAS, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet. But it's looking a lot healthier on the side of Mouse, and they're right back in this now. It's a round that they needed to revitalise their map. Can they press on though, Jackie? Or are LDLC going to be answer back with a round of their own? And perhaps that'll be the nail in the coffin if LDLC do find one. Twanu just going to try and hold down ramp here with the 5-7. He has got help as well, so if they do push towards ramp here, this could be a good opportunity for LDLC to get an ambush.
It's true. There is potential for there to actually be a little bit of a explosive round occurring into this one. Twanu will go for the fire out, trying to do some damage with these pistols, but they can't ward this off, you'd imagine, if they get overwhelmed. Sure, they have players stacked there to try and help each other out, but there's so much utility on playing Mousesports and that range advantage. If they take the fight towards ramp, they should be able to overpower and go for a late round take. But they slow it off. They're playing smart. Take that outside control. Why wouldn't you? You have these AKs in play. You know you're going to be able to use your distance to your advantage. Work your way through, take secret control, and take that B-bomb site. Existence will catch wind of this. Actually, no, it is going to be the A take, you'd imagine. The smokes go through, charge through main now, Alex, it all relies on him.
He's got an M4 as well. This could be huge for him if he can find a couple of frags, get a spray down. Does find one, finds two, looks for a third, doesn't quite get it, but luckily Tuanu's there to finish him off and clean up. Oscar, the last man remaining, does find one frag, but LDLC throw yet another spanner in the works. They say, oh, okay, Mouse, you want to come back into this game. How about no?
And this is really bad as well, right? Look at the reset coming out. It's not going to be too fantastic. The cash comes through, dwindles them down a little bit, and now they are forced to invest every penny they have. They were starting to build cash. They win that round off the back of it. They burn all of that economy trying to buy back into this round. It's their only decision they can make. Utility is still pretty good, though. Unfortunately, they don't have a rifle over on Dennis. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull this one out. That previous round was shaky. It looked sloppy towards the end there. They've played it smart. You know, they got in towards the back line. They went for the focus towards the A-bomb side, but it didn't work out. Oscar as well, too slow. Tuanu comes in and beats him down.
Yeah, we put so much on Oscar, saying how crazy his AWPing was on Cobblestone, but Tuanu really stepping it up here on Nuke. And LDLC have that man advantage, and when they have a man advantage, they've been performing pretty well. Cobblestone was the same, to be honest. When LDLC were getting the opening pick, that's when they were getting the rounds. They really do work well when it comes to these situations with that man advantage. Maniac just going to back off, but Dennis finds the headshot to even things up. LDLC now going to just back off onto those sides. Interesting position from Misdown, just close to vents here. Might be able to catch Dennis off. If Dennis does open this door, Misdown might make the decision just to burst out and go for an aggressive peek. Will Dennis suspect it, though? That's the real question.
It's true. Are they going to be able to catch them off guard here as they set themselves up, getting ready for this burst? Waiting for the right moment to strike. And now they kick things off. Misty missed out even, trying to rain his way through. Nice 2K, hungry for the third. Tag comes in, had to switch out to the knife. Lack of ammunition to try and work his way into that. Dennis with a headshot on towards missed out as well, taking him down. There's Alec and his assistant to clean it up though. Sure, it went quite sour for LDLC. They have to buy out 3 rebuys. That's a lot of casualties, but it does not matter purely because they pick up the round. Missed out. Fantastic play here, being able to work his way through. It was a great double kill to slow them down long enough for the rotate to come in. The official reset is now kicked in as well. They had to burn all of their cash in that previous round to try and buy back. Now they have nothing.
Misty, missed out. He can be called whatever the hell he likes if he's going to make plays like that. We can call him a character from Pokemon, and he'll still hit those shots. Almost getting a disgusting 3K. But it's enough to set LDLC on their way towards winning Nuke here. 12-8 now. Mouse, as you said, getting that reset. Just got pistols to work with. These are the type of rounds that Mouse can just pull out of nowhere, though. But Alex is actually getting very aggressive. Is he going to be able to find anyone? Yes, he catches out loud. He looks for a second. Chris J gets the trade, so he'll be able to pick up that UMP. Maniac is just watching ramp and will actually catch Spiddy off guard. And Dennis goes down. Just 2 players remaining now for Mouse. They're trying to do something a little bit different, trying to catch anyone off guard, but it's not going to happen. LDLC are just holding too strong at the moment. And their CT half is looking just as good as their T half, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true. This is looking good so far. That kill will come out, though. Taking down Misty, just leaving Chris J left in a 1 versus 3.
Chris J, Misty, Chris J.
All of these words. It's catching me off guard at this point. It's been such a heated matchup. And Mouse, 1 player left, 1 versus 3. Obviously, an awkward scenario to be in. Look where the bomb's dropped. It's just going to be kind of hard. He has to burn a lot of his time to even rotate to try and grab it. They've pushed through as well. They're in good positions. LDLC, you're going to be picking up this round, you would imagine. Now then, ascending themselves into that 13th round on the board, Dan. This is huge. This is a great display from LDLC. We know they've had good games on Nuke in the past, but this is a massive one. You wipe down Mousesports here, take yourself 1-1 in the scoreline, and try and, you know, actually, of all things, you get that second loss on the board for Mouse.
You wouldn't think this is the same squad, LDLC, that lost to Spirit quite recently on Nuke 16-6, to be honest. This is absolutely unreal. I know we saw a good performance from them back in week 1 of Pro League, where they beat Hellraiser 16-7, but going to be another ports coming out, and I would presume it's going to be Mouse this time, deciding what they're going to do with this buy. I mean, they're already 5 rounds down, LDLC only 3 away. What can you do as Mouse now? Because you've already allowed LDLC to build up that bank balance. You've got to try and break through, but they've tried and tested it a few times. They need to do something else. Yeah,
it's kind of got to be a bit of a hardcore change-up at this point. Try and switch things around, because obviously their T-side isn't really working out for them. They do have money to play with going into this following round, so it's not all doom and gloom for them, but it's still going to be kind of awkward. Now, LDLC, they're just looking absolutely supreme right now. They're locking everything down. They're being able to land these crisp shots. They're looking good. Great team play coming through. but it's still been close rounds. It's by no means been then dominating. It's been down to the wire in quite a few scenarios, most of the times losing sort of around 2 to 3 players in terms of casualties. So it just depends, what are they going to be able to achieve going through into this final one?
I'm thinking maybe that they need to just take a little bit of pressure off the AWP, because Oscar's been trying to get those opening picks, but he's been shut down immediately by Twanu. Maybe they need to just say, actually, let's just buy 5 AKs, let's go for a strategy, let's try and take A, throw some smokes through Skylight perhaps, just switch it up a little bit, because they're playing into LDLC's hands by pushing outside and allowing Twanu, because Twanu is, yes, okay, he's only got 8 frags at the moment, but all of those 8 frags have been impact kills right at the start, right in the middle of the round, to really switch things up and allow LDLC to take, really, to be honest, important rounds. As now here comes Mouse. They are going to get aggressive outside. They are going to just bomb down Secret, or at least one of them is. A couple are still stuck on red as Dennis finds the opening onto Mistal. It's what they needed, Mouse. Just a little bit of aggression, and look, 5 AKs. No AWP to work with, so they're not going to be playing slow.
Yeah, the aggression has to come out here. They have to try and fight their way through. It is looking good so far. There's another kill as well. Oscar, huge frag off the back of the pause. They're seeming like they have actually cracked the code and what they need to do. Absolute difference maker into this one so far. Lau in the elevated angle. Will he be able to find that kill on towards Alex? Of course he can, and the double kill as well. Great spray transfer. The A-bomb site is open, and Twanu will be the last man to fall, you would imagine.
Yep, footsteps will be heard as well. He's obviously going to want to try and survive with this AWP, but I'm not sure that's going to happen as Oscar comes through, gets his second frag of the round. 13 to 9 now. Mouse, pause obviously worked. They've had the discussion, and look at the economy for LDLC. They have reset it, actually. So LDLC will have to eco here. Might be able to grab a pistol or two, get some deagles on the go, see if they can do anything crazy. But it is going to be a way back into the map for Mouse. Potentially a 13-10. And if they can continue that aggression that they've just shown, perhaps that's the kryptonite for LDLC, to be honest. They weren't really ready for Mouse to just pop off like that and just fire shots out of nowhere. They hadn't really positioned themselves fantastically. So maybe something learnt here from Mouse. Just be a little bit quicker about their action and they might be able to take a few more rounds.
Yeah, true. Just lock things down with that speedy, aggressive style of play. Dennis here, you can see, getting ready to go for the strike. Nice headshot off on towards Alex. Silent but deadly as he gets that opening frag. Missed out. Going to be in tight situation as well as the push comes in towards that B-bomb site. Will surely be overwhelmed due to the advanced rifles we have in the arsenal of Mousesports. As they rev their engines, getting ready to strike now. Missed out. Nice headshot off on towards Spiddy. Lau will take down Twanu though. Missed out. Also going to hit the deck, leaving just Maniac in existence left to try and defend this. Outnumbered vastly.
Yeah, Maniac just having a little hide-and-seek game over in Toxic as well. Wonder if anyone is going to notice him there. I was even going to bother planning this at B, to be honest. They might have caught wind that there are a couple of players at B and they might move the bomb back on up. It is going to be Lau holding this one. Just here in window as well. They don't need to rush this. They don't. There's no reason to just allow any kind of mistake to come through. Just play it slow, play it patient, as they've just done. Force the LDLC players out. Bomb goes down, and now it's just going to be Maniac. As I said, just hiding in Toxic. Doors are open now, so they can be well aware he's there. Lau comes into play. He's just going to spray down with the AK and finish things off. So there we have it. 13 to 10. Mouse, perhaps with a chance to get back into this. Money round now for LDLC. This is perhaps the biggest round of the game, Jackie.
Yeah, this is nice to see. Good stuff on the board as they're picking these rounds up. 10 to 13. 3 rounds away from equalizing the scoreline. Are they going to be able to pick it back and work their way into this? Or is this going to be LDLC locking it down once again? Twanu donning the AWP once more. Aggressive play towards ramp, potentially. Will just be holding it? Yeah, just going to be holding the angle, hoping to see if anyone is going to come in towards his crosshairs. Different setup towards outside now as well, as they are going to send 2 players over there, switching things up slightly for LDLC.
Mistal actually just buying T-Red there. Lau needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught from behind. He is very aware that it's a possibility that there could be some aggression from LDLC, so he was checking every angle. Twanu still holding ramp. Our Mouse going to push into this lovely angle, and actually he does find Oscar. Once again wins that AWP war. Oscar really been struggling against Twanu. It's another impact frag. Okay, he's not amazingly fragging. He's not at the top of the leaderboards, but his frags like that allow his team to move on and win rounds.
Yeah, that is great. That's what you need. Those openers like that, you dispatch Oscar immediately. That's the Oscar factor removed from Mousesports. Not only that, you punish them towards ramp. They now know there's an AWP situated there. They might not want to try and take the aggression. Obviously, you can try and just rush into it, overpower it, but you most likely lose at least another member. Then you're left with 3 players up against 5. That's going to be quite awkward. Mistal gliding through the air as he finds that opening frag in towards Spiddy, trying to reposition as well. Gets away with his life. Could have gone for the knife there, but Alex will deny it, taking down Dennis. And it's just Lau left in a 1 versus 4. Backing off, 30 seconds left to play with. This is another round gone, and the reset comes out from LDLC. This should be them getting round 14 on the board. I don't see how this is going to go any other way.
Yep, quite right. Going to be 14th round. Obviously still money to work with for Mouse, as you can see, but LDLC just creeping and crawling towards the victory here on Nuke. And I think this has been the frustration from Mouse fans, really, that the difference that we've seen from map to map. We saw a sublime Mousesports on Cobblestone, and now we've seen a lackluster Mouse on Nuke, to be honest. Players like Oscar, who played out of their mind on Cobblestone, he has struggled ever so slightly here. We've seen him just being, well, just obliterated as soon as he tries to take an AWP battle. Yes, okay, he still picked up 16 frags, and to be honest, a lot of that was when Chris J was donning the AWP and he was just using a rifle on that CT side. But it's 14-10. LDLC with a chance to perhaps put the nail in the coffin here for Mousesports and get a much-needed win, to be honest, from LDLC. We spoke quite a lot, well, I spoke quite a lot about Mouse being top of that table, but LDLC are near the bottom, and with NIP winning yesterday, getting 2 maps on the board, LDLC find themselves possibly looking at being in the relegation zone ever longer, with everyone else catching them up now. So they could really do with this win here on Nuke. Dennis has found his way down towards B, but he can't quite find anyone in vents, and Twanu pops out with the AWP and finds a shot through the wall. Disgusting stuff, and he's found that opening front yet again, Jack.
Massively done there. That's what we want to see from Twanu. Those flashy plays where he takes the aggression, is able to get the opener. Now leaving them in a 4 versus 5. Mistal will receive a bit of a dent, but he still does the work, taking down Chris J. Twanu as well, seeming like he's hungry for another frag. Going to try and take that fight towards Oscar, you'd imagine. Spots him out, goes for the no-scope, can't connect it. Tries the reposition as well. Oscar is going to brush past him. Molotov goes in. That completely zones him out right now. And it's getting a little bit awkward. Lau, elevated angle as well. Going to just be peeking from window, looking around, having a sniff around, seeing if he can spot out any players right now as they're left in this high-octane situation, this tense 4 versus 3.
Yeah, awkward is definitely the right word, because the bomb's down as well. But Oscar finally finds Twanu, but Alex makes the trade, so it's 3 versus 1 now with just Lau on his own. Only 25 seconds left. He has eliminated Maniac, but he's only on 10 HP. This is going to be extremely difficult. Just pushes in to Alex's AK, and it's going to be 15-10. Still just about money to work with for Mouse. Of course you're going to force that, because otherwise you lose the game. But now they've got to try and play for overtime, and 5 rounds on the bat is going to be extremely difficult for Mouse, judging from what we've seen previously, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true, right? It's going to be kind of awkward for them. Obviously, you get left in this tight situation at this point where you can't expect too much coming through. They only have 3 rifles to play with, not a lot of utility at all. They don't have the AWP on Oscar, but I mean, saying that, Oscar's not really done too much with the AWP anyway. They've just been getting backhanded round after round. This is the most aggression we've seen from them, though. They are able to slip their way down towards that lower bomb site very early on. Could be scary if Mistal can't punish. Peek comes out there. They are caught with their pants down, fumbling with nades. Nade goes back in. Nice use of the HE there to try and delay. They're going to throw in one of their own, transferring down to just below 40 HP. Push comes in, but Dennis just offers himself up as a sacrifice. Headshot supreme as Mistal will take him down. And this is a close round so far.
But the rest of Mouse haven't done anything. So yes, okay, 2 of them found themselves down to B, found themselves near that vent, but Mouse are still just sat waiting. They've not pushed at all. They've not asked any questions of LDLC. LDLC were just waiting, and now Alex has been able to pick up 1 frag, looks for a second as well. Easy pickings, 5 members remaining, and it's just Lowell and Spiddy on the side of Mouse. Spiddy just has a pistol. This is going to be game over. Mouse are going to be falling, and LDLC getting a really important win here. Or is there a change in the tail? Can Lowell do something crazy here? Spiddy's managed to find himself a weapon as well. 2 versus 4. Yes, okay, backs against the wall. It's looking like game over with just 30 seconds left. But there's, of course, still a chance. There's always a chance, Jackie.
It's true. There's always that slim moment But you can hope for something good. Alex gets taken down, executed by Lau. Left now on a 2 versus 3. This isn't the worst case scenario for them. They try and make it better. Spiddy going to do some work. Taking down Existent Spiddy, the player that there has been so many questions asked of. Could he do the unthinkable here? Left with an AK, some armor, and a dream in a 1 versus 2 situation. It would be a huge round. He would go on to take the hat trick if he can find all of these last 2 players and get these frags. We'll be backing off, repositioning, potentially going to go from the peak from Hut. Knows he has so much time to play with. As they drop down, they have those kits though, and it is going to be scary. Obviously, they have the AWP as well. The peak comes out, he gets tagged down, unfortunately. Maniac to slay. Diffuse comes in. LDLC get a win on the board. That is going to be a 1-1 series.
Really incredible stuff from LDLC to be able to respond to a cobblestone match where they got absolutely slapped around, to turn around and just destroy Mouse 16-10 in that way. It was a pleasure to watch. As you said, both taking a map each, both getting 3 points on the table. It will still mean Mouse are going to be on 8 wins, 8-2 at the top, so they'll still be right at the top of that table, just above Astralis. LDLC will find their 3rd victory as well, so they'll be able to creep closer to that mid-table. Any players that really impressed you on Nuke there, though, Jackie?
I think you kind of have to look at the usual suspects really on LDLC, right? Players like Alex, Tuanu, they were popping off. We saw a few moments of individual brilliance coming out from Mistal, but the difference maker really was as soon as you got that AWP out over on Tuanu, he started to being able to go for those aggressive angle faces, he was taking them down, and it looked good. But Alex here as well, look at this, sublime rifling. He was an absolute artist with the AK, took those aggressive fights, and was able to come out on top 9 times out of 10. It just looked awkward for Mousesports.
It was always awkward. Their money was never really there, and when they did find rounds, they just made little small mistakes. It's always difficult after such a strong T side from LDLC, from a sort of strong CT side, sorry, from LDLC, for Mouse to come back into it on their T side. They didn't look like the same team that we saw on Cobblestone.
No,
to be honest. I don't know if they just got a little bit tired and fatigue played a part in that, or whether Nuke just isn't a strong map for them. Of course, we've got to look at the fact that these teams would have been able to go through the veto process, they would have been able to choose certain maps, and for me, it certainly looks like LDLC chose Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, it was their map pick, obviously, coming through like that, and they just dominated on it. This is the thing, they've always loved Nuke, Existence has always been a big fan of it, has a lot in his playbook, knows how to utilize the team members on that map very good. And the thing that he was always a player that had been good individually on Nuke as well for a magnitude of years. So great to see vintage Existence back there doing some work, utilizing his teammates very well. Awesome display of their CT dominance towards the end there. They locked it down. They
did lock it down indeed. Let's take a look at all of the scores from across today, both on the mainstream and our stream, of course. 16-7, Na'Vi taking down Fnatic, but then Fnatic responding on Train 16-12. Nuke would be the map between Envy and North, a 16-13 victory, and then Overpass is still yet to be played, so head on over as soon as this stream finishes to check that one out. 16-10 for Astralis over Heroic on Nuke, and an Inferno victory for Astralis as well, 16-7, and then as we've just witnessed, Mousesports taking down LDLC 16-7, but then being overturned 16-10 on Nuke. Now, the standings after all of those matches have gone through. Mousesports will still be right at the top of that table, 8-2, and the closest competitors will be Astralis. LDLC find themselves at 4-6, so they start to claw back up that table, find themselves level with teams like Kingwin, like Envious, Hellraiser still behind them, and look at that, NIP. Still near that bottom, but they've started to lay the foundations. They are 2-6. And with those results elsewhere, Na'Vi find themselves in the middle of the table as well. I mean, this is still all to play for, to be honest, Jackie. Who do you see really being at the top? Is there anyone down at the bottom that you're thinking, right, they're probably going to be right at the top? Is RNIP going to be able to find themselves at the top?
Nip at this point, obviously, they looked kind of good with Draken now being added to the lineup. He played his role, right? He did what he needed to do very well, but I feel like they're too far gone. Obviously, we aren't towards the end of the season just yet, but we're definitely a good way in, and it just feels like Nip have taken way too long to even get their first win on the board. I don't know. I think maybe mid-table finish is going to be coming out from them, but definitely not towards the top spot by the end of the season. Purely as well because it might be the honeymoon period, getting used to Draken, but it's also the fact that you need to get used to Draken. You know, you need to get that teamwork down to a later date so you can actually lock everything down.
Speaking of honeymoon period, I'm not going to be here next week or the week after because I'm getting married. So it's going to be, yay for me. Or everyone's just going, oh,
how have you managed that?
Don't do it. Yeah, what are you doing? So Jackie will probably be here with another guest and will be riding you through all the action. But that's going to be all we've got today. So thank you very much for joining us. We've had some fantastic games. But of course, Jackie and another caster are going to see you next week for more ESL Pro League action.